Welcome back. This is part 2 of our Coglin Berserker of Trog. Now, like last episode, I am voice-overing this playthrough after the fact and watching it along with you guys and talking about it. As I mentioned last time, sometimes it's nice to just like blast it, not have to worry about commentating. Maybe save us an episode or two on the end and just get to it. You can kind of do that with like Berserker games, some particular melee games, but yeah, mix it up, do a voiceover for a bit. So where we left off last left off is we were we had finished Elven Halls after getting our 2S branch ruins. It was Spider and Shoals today. We've got our 2 broad axes up and running, and you can see here our armor. It could be better, it could be worse, but it's enough to handle things like elves and vaults at this point. And so our goal now is to kind of work our way through vaults to 4. Certainly not go into vaults 5. At least, even if I was doing vaults 5 as my third rune, I wouldn't just go right into it. I'd clear depths in that scenario. But I don't believe I'm going to be going down that route today. Actually, I'll just tell you, no, I'm not. So we're just going to work our way through vaults. Our will is not the greatest, and so I'm not going to constantly have Trog's hand up, but I'm certainly going to pop it quicker than maybe normal. Our hope here is to get some stores and items that maybe can buff us up a little bit as we approach kind of endgame depths and third rune territory. Yeah, so one thing we have to be very careful about is our lacking defenses. In that we don't have a shield, of course. We're a dual-wielding Coglin. And so we don't have a shield. And our armor piece is not a beefy one. I've only got 22 AC. I've got good EV, reasonably speaking, with 16. But normally when you're like a Minotaur or something, Gargoyle or something, and you have some good armor, it's like, oh, I have 38 AC, whatever EV, 20s shield, we're not in that territory today. So we have to be very careful about getting overwhelmed or whatnot. The good news is you can rev up, where at first you're weaker than, say, a Minotaur starting to fight, but I'm pretty sure when you're fully revved, you are ahead of the curve with regards to things like Minotaurs and, their kind of melee output, with equivalent weapons, of course. So I got marked here, very scary, so I'm just backing away. Yeah, you don't want the whole floor after you. Now, if I was being smart about it, I might have gone down a different stair, but I was here, whatever. I don't know. I felt risky. Actually, it was closer than I thought it, so I probably should have gone down a different stair, but it's kind of weird when you get marked, everything kind of heads to you, but then some things don't because they're too far away or behind a door or something. So, anyway, it looks like, all cleared, so this initial kind of exploration will be quicker since most of those guys would have walked towards me already. But things like behind doors and stuff, like I said, they wouldn't have made it towards me. Other than magic creatures, there's nothing particularly scary individually. I think I have good RC at this point. My will is medium. I have R-Elec. I have R poison built in with my neck. I have clairvoyance, so I don't get like confused and stuff. And by neck, I meant my gizmo, which is the equivalent of necks and rings for you can see it there for a split second, for Coglins. So Vaults 2 done. Just taking a look. Alright, and then heading down. You kind of want to prioritize the red dudes, like yellow dudes first, red dudes second. Caster types, and then like the green ones are usually a good third priority. I like vaults like this where it's like a big square, but then like offshoot rooms. It feels more controlled than your kind of larger scale vaults or wacky vaults. Just feels more controllable, more distinct and divisioned. I don't know. Especially ones with big doors, because doors stop like marking from being as bad. If everything's open air and you get marked, everything comes at you. You know, there's nothing to stop the sound. Ben Shazen or whatever his name, Bay Shazen. You can just berserk through him at this point. It's pretty easy. Nothing to buy, unfortunately. We've got a lot of cash. I think we're at like 5,000 cash at one point here on this game. We're at 4,000 right now. So there's plenty of cash, nothing to buy. So Vaults 4, I didn't want to chase there. You never know. When you just start a floor, you don't really want to chase if you can get them to you. For those who aren't familiar with vaults, really the keys to getting vaults is having good will. Maybe less will than Elven, but still you want to have like 2 pips of will. You want to have RLEC if you can, because there's a lot of electrical output. Oh, this was pretty close too. I was so pot committed there that it was like, oh my. So then I had to blink away just to reset. Go around the corner. I think I summoned a dude. I think I was... Oh, this, yeah, I remember this, yeah. So I was like, let's do some poison. These guys are melee based. They won't come to me. And I guess at a certain point, they just go, I don't care about poison. You're going to come to me. So the good news is that the poison actually did a lot of damage to them. So by the time they did arrive, I was a berserk away. It wasn't like a, desperation mode at that point. But I was like, oh, wow, they're actually just coming through the poison. Anyway, what I was saying. Oh, so... you also want to have cold resistance, like at least 1, ideally 2 or more cold resistant, because there's a lot of cold dudes. So this is Nobody. He's a undead named mob who regenerates like 3 or 4 times. I've once read his description on in-game, and it makes no sense to like describe exactly the rules of how he works, but it says something like he regenerates every time until he's taken all the stories away from you or something, and it just, I don't know what that means. So because sometimes he regens like twice, or sometimes it's 7 times. I don't know what the rule is, and I haven't had a chance to look outside of the game, so that's a weird one. Anyway, you got to be careful with that guy specifically because he regenerates. So if you berserk too early, it's like, oh no, I'm still with him and he's going to respawn 3 more times and I'm slowed. I can't berserk. I'm low health, or all that. Anyway, so we're back into depths. First depths is a pretty classic kind of style depths look. Nothing crazy about it. There can be some weird depths for sure, like castles and, I don't know, glass-walled infinity hallways and, I don't know, a lot of crazy stuff. And so this one is more of a classic sections of rooms, mobs in the rooms, little hallways between them, kind of depths. I don't know if I showed it visually, but I believe in this game I was very, very low in Revelation Scrolls, like 2 or 3. So at this point I'm thinking like I'm barely gonna have coverage for Zot. So this is one of those games where I'm gonna be going down depths pretty blind. I'd be lucky if I get the full coverage of Zot. I didn't catch that one there, but maybe one time I'll hold on the scrolls long enough for me to count. I missed it. Maybe you got it. You let me know. Oh, this was a crazy little thing. So it's all shut in, and then all of a sudden the whole world is revealed because all of these cave trolls all slam their digging attacks. It's pretty crazy how quickly they can just like shred the ground around you. Sometimes if you don't have any digging scrolls, or not scrolls, wands, you can kind of guide a pack of those around just to dig for you, but it's almost never worth it. I don't know. I've never gone out of my way to do that either. All the broad axes are dropping. Anyway, this looks like it's another classic depths looking floor. Your hallways, rooms between hallways, stony wall, kind of looks dirt-like, but there's some sort of tiling to it all. Well, there's a broad axe of draining. That's pretty cool. It's not a plus, 7 or higher, so it's a long way off from comparable to like a flaming. But I pick it up just in case things work out that way. You never know. Once you're in like Zot, onwards, the flaming axe kind of dies a little. It's not bad, but it's not like ideal when you're dealing with like oofs, orbs of fire, who you got your freezing, which is nice, but you maybe want like an anti-magic or like I guess draining or something that isn't fire, because flaming broad axe is nerfed to things like that with fire resistance. So anyway, whenever you see a flayed, go for the flayed first if at all possible. It kind of temporarily reduces your health pool, and if you let it cast off, you can turn into like a 80 health character in a second and then get one shot. So gotta be careful with those flayed ones, or whatever they're called. Got an acquirement. Once again, talisman, weak axe, stupid manual, and just okay, gold. I don't know what was up with my seed for my character today, but every single acquirement was shape-shifting talisman, medium to low gold, a book of something, and a medium axe that is already replaced by what I'm using. It was really weird. I'm not sure exactly why. Alright, so we're in Depths 3. Once again, this looks pretty classic, although there's some castle tiles here, although it's just a small little thing here. You always got to be careful of Spriggans. They're crazy. Super fast, usually accompanied by other crazy things. And then, as you can see here, we're dealing with some sort of specialty vault, big triangle or something. Always be afraid of these things in depths. They suggest like golden dragons, which I pick up the body. That's good to see for my purposes. Both because it's a nice item, but also theoretically, if I enchant it up to a +2, at least, we're dealing with a Trove entrance. Anyway, I popped that on because, like I said, this whole game I've had like medium to weak body pieces. So just to get a solid, like some set of resistances, kind of cleans up things like fire giants and gives me a little bit more AC as well. I think I was at 22 at one point, and now I'm at 27. That's not the best, but it's also, it's fine. It would be cool if we can get some enchant armors, get that golden dragon skills up, that kind of thing. But yeah, just encountering things like fire dragons and ice dragons, it's good to just have this extra +2 types of resistances. Anyway, yeah, don't chase into these specialty vaults. Like a single Elder King or Ender King or whatever that was called, Arborist, whatever, is enough to kill you. And in that little, like, okay, I guess it's a rhombus or something. No, I guess diamond from the side, but in whatever you want to call that, trapezoid, rhombus, whatever. I forget which one's the Pizza Hut symbol and which one's the tank side. Anyway, there's gonna be some crazy stuff in there, so take it easy. Don't chase, even though you have good resistances from like our Gizmo and stuff. And like they even it's so bad that they even lock up some of them. But yeah, cool. So it's cleared, and I'm not going to go into there. We're too far in the game to risk our life for some stupid whatever it is. I even look, and it's like they didn't even give you anything. They're just mobs in a door. So no chance of me going in there. So now we're heading to Depths 4, I believe. This is me considering like, oh, I could buy the 2 enchant armors and put it on my chest. And anyway, so this right here is a very scary sight. I recognized it from up front. You're going to see me misplay a few times, but basically recover. But this is one of the most scary depths you can get. all the entrances are on one side. The Zot 4 or the Zot 0 / Zot 1 entrance is on the complete other side, and there's a big castle with no connections typically in the center. You'll see what I mean, but it's not only risky because like you can't teleport because the whole darn floor is in this like unattackable castle for now at least, but you'll see right here, where's my exit? The furthest it probably could possibly be. And where's all the mobs? Here. So you're going to see Enchantress is here with all these Spriggans. Spriggans alone are scary, and I can't outrun them. I'm either going to be using like 7 blink scrolls to escape from this, or I'm going to have to enter my Zig. No, because I just exit here. So I teleport. I played the risk, and here I am. The good news is there's a stair underneath that fire giant to my right. The bad news is I'm surrounded by insanity. I pop a summoning scroll because I'm thinking maybe they'll push everyone back, you know, just or like a butterfly does. I wish it was a butterfly because I don't have any butterflies. And I'm like, oh god, all right, my only chance is to berserk, kill this fire, and go up. And look at that. So remember early in episode 1 I said like this is the second most likely point of when I was going to die? Well, this was the first. I mean, I have no clue how I survived that. I should be dead. So lesson learned moments is don't chase. I mean, how could I have known Enchantress and a bunch of Spriggans would be around the corner? I don't know. Perhaps maybe I should have entered the castle in like from here and not gone south. How was I supposed to know? I'm not sure. Maybe the only other thing I could have done was blinked all the way up instead of done the teleport. Maybe that was my solution. I could have at least blinked into this little hole here in the circle, you know, or whatever you want to call that, like little mini hall in between, like there. Maybe I should have done that and then like done this, but you know, before. Here's the good news. I got a broad axe plus 11 with heavy and strength on it. So this I'm like, yes, please. I think I replace my freeze I think I replaced my freeze just because of the +1 part of it. Because freeze is still +8 versus the +9. I take a look at the fairy dragons. I was curious, you know, but I have golden dragon skills. But yeah, I probably should have died. Anyway, so now I'm like, okay, do I go in the castle? Do I clear the other side? I'm like, there can't be anything worse on the outside here, so I'm going to finish off the outside. And there's nothing here. There's legitimate fighting here, and I was particularly scared with the Draconians, and then I remembered, oh yeah, this is depths 4. Wherever the exit is, if it's on the out or the inside, there's going to be a bunch of Draconians, so I got to take this very carefully. And my speculation at this point was it would be on the outside because I'd already teleported into where I thought the you know, if you drew a castle up and you said, okay, where are you going to put the Zod entrance? It'd be where I ended up teleporting, like in that final vault of the castle. So my expectation is upwards is my my Zot, and here it is. Cool. So we'll come back here and make sense of this. It's a pretty crazy walk back, I know, but we'll get to it. Don't you worry, because there's some ideas that maybe you yourself have just already thought of, or maybe you haven't thought of it yet. But anyway, I go around the corner, or I'm like, oh, this is Grum, or whatever his name is. This guy's very scary. He has a bunch of these really powerful doggy guys. He summons dudes, and he howls you, which basically like locks you down. It's a very scary kind of Depths era named guy, so be very careful about Growl. Whenever you see those dogs, he's coming. The dogs usually appear first. Anyway, so we've got more dudes, and you got to be very careful here because this is especially Vault and Depths, and like things like that can like two-shot you. There's books, there's a wormhole or whatever it's called, and these holes in the wall are somewhat favorable and somewhat not. So you gotta actually, like, it all looks the same, but there's actually some specific holes that are like better than others. So you gotta keep track of your visuals, because like there's exits every direction. You don't want to push inward and then get caught from behind. Just be very careful with this pattern here. Kind of work the edges where you know there's no exits on your backside, and kind of leash in and out. Use the corners and all that to sneak some visuals. Because I technically haven't popped like a marker or like a trapper or anything, so this is all just natural positioning. All this door and edge work here would have blocked like any sort of fighting noise outside. And as you can see, there's just a variety of tough creatures here. It's just like every creature that you could possibly fight in this era of the game is all here. And by era, I mean like depths style creatures. Okay. I don't know if you've been keeping track, but obviously this second episode of the character is much slower paced than the first. I mean, I didn't like rush it out like a minotaur who's out of his, out of the world, but once you get to this era, like this part of the game, and you're on a berserker who isn't like just one-shotting everything and with like perfect defenses, you're actually pretty weak, because yeah, you can kill things, but the power level of other things are like outstripping your brute force, and so you have to be very slow and methodical about engagement points. So especially in scenarios like this, you just gotta tippy-toe your way through these corners and stuff. Now, of course, I entered this back thing with the teleport here, so I did kill some things. Like, there's a few like guys caught some strays from my berserking to escape, but we're not done here. Don't just run in thinking, oh, I was already here, it's already done, So yeah, but this is kind of like the treasure vault of this situation. A lot of gold, a lot of items I couldn't use, your rings and stuff. This is a time when you get your last, rings of the game, and it's like, well, I don't even use rings. So anyway, I use the stair just to reset here, and then I'm going to re-clear here. Oh, a shrike. Usually scary in packs. I guess there's just one here, though. So note, this is my first digging wand. It has 8 uses. So I wonder what I'm going to do with that digging wand. We'll see. We will see. It's not a lot, so I have to be very careful not to waste... Oh, this is very scary, by the way. These books are very scary, especially when you don't have, like, 4 or more will. They can, like, two-shot you with their things. So I see this crystal plate. It's just plus int. It's like, oh, that's cool for the defenses, but I like the resistances I'm getting from my golden dragon. Anyway, just collecting up, and then I'm like, okay, let's figure out. I do need my final rune, of course, and at this point I'm pretty certain it's going to be Abyss. Your classic Berserker ending is Abyss, typically. Maybe Vaults 5, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a fan of Vaults 5. So anyways, I'm here, and I'm like, let's use some digging. I wonder if I can dig around. And like this gray tile is undiggable, but I have 8 uses. Let's see if I can make it. It's almost perfectly distanced. Did you see how like the last cut hit the right at the end? So it's my belief, and don't quote me on this, but I believe they always that you're going to find a digging wand on this floor because they want you to know to dig around the side. So that's how you solve the 3 on one side and the exit on the other, or the opposite, the Zot one side and the 3 exits on the other, is you can dig around. Now, whatever. So that's me enchanting the broad axe up to +9, and I think that's me going, okay, cool. When I see an oof, or like I head into Zot, I'll use the freezing and the heavy rather than the whatnots. But it's also me going, okay, I need to buy anything that I want to buy now because I'm at the end game now. I'm going to be entering Abyss. I'm going to hopefully get the rune, and I'm going to be working on Zot. And like, there's almost never any stores in Zot. Certainly, very rarely in Abyss. So it's just me using my gold, and we'll see. We'll see how the future goes. So just buying everything I can. And we're going to find Abyss. Just pick one. And we enter. And so I've done Abyss a few times now, and actually pretty much in a row as well, with the characters I've been playing this last few series. But just if it's fresh on your mind, I have a policy where as long as the rune is near me, in proximity to my current position, I always take an out. It resets the tile set around me, and it also allows me to reset my negative debuffs if there's any at all to be reset. Like every time you teleport, every time you exit the place and re-enter, it's just a regeneration of things. So like I get a fresh set of, 200 by 200 tiles that can trigger that little alert in the mini-map. Plus, typically it's very rare to like immediately enter and then get the out, get the rune. So there's going to be time where you spend navigating the floor on average, and I find the average time it takes to find a rune in a like it's been given to you like portal is roughly the time it takes to reset your timer and respawn I've killed enough things and out has appeared. The last thing you want is to have my escape that's triggered from killing things to pop early before you found your rune, and then you find your rune, but then you gotta wait forever to get your next out. It's very scary in that scenario because usually you get charged by whatever you're doing in the vault or of the Abyss rune. So I find it like syncs well if you just always take the out, you enter, you encounter your rune, and then you generate your exit almost immediately after based on like your kill rates. So this is crazy. So I had some bad mutation. It was enough that I was like, I'll eat a mutation potion, and then I immediately get teleportitis, and so then I have to spend I think 2 more mutation potions, and I eventually get you're resistant to further mutation with only like negative health 10%, and then I get like I think plus RC or something like that. So I'm like, thank you. I do not want another series where I give myself teleportitis and then have no more mutation potions, especially since I haven't even started Zot, where I'm sure there's going to be many orbs of fire. And these guys, those are the kind of guys who they're called like Neproxos or whatever. They're the ones who do like insane mutations, just like they spam mutations. And the stars do temporary mutations for Abyss, but I see the rune is south of me, by the way. You can see it. Yeah. And so now I head south. There's my exit. So I'm like, nice. My exit spawned and I'm right at the door. So then I can go get my rune. And then like I have the worst possible positioning and I'm fully blocked off. I have to kill all of this junk, work my way around here. I'm trying to hug the rim of the rune location. As you can see, the rune's already disappeared. I haven't noticed in my own personal situation, and I'm like kind of giving myself hope that maybe it's just my detection that'll respawn it, but that's how quick it was. I lost my out. I lost my rune, and I got teleported, and so now I'm completely obliviously lost. So it's just like, all right, let me just kill whatever. Get out of here, whatever, take an exit. I don't care anymore. I'm just going to reset this whole thing the first chance I get. So we're coming along here. Abyss can be pretty tedious, just trying to figure what the hell's going around, me. Here's an exit. I'm like, okay, get me out. Check my my mutations, nothing built. All right. If I had really, really bad mutations, and specifically like abyss only mutations, I may pop into like crypts to kill a few things, just to reset those mutations in a more controlled setting. But otherwise, you just pop right in. Where do we go? Okay, so we're kind of... Oh, here's our rune. I can remember I was just thinking like, oh, I'm in like the kind of like hallway abyss. I get teleported, and then, oh my god, stupid hallways. I just get blocked off by the hallways, and I'm like, I'm gonna go south, I guess, maybe, try to break out of this, whatever you want to call this, like, hallway castle. And I think I lost the rune at this point. Yeah, blocked off. I'm just getting real bad luck with my abyss generation here. Not to worry, though. It's infinitely generating. And here we go. Here's an out. But then I'm like, oh, what's that? The rune. Is it right there? Oh, no. There's a wall. But it is there. So now I'm like desperately trying to get to my my door. It'll always have like some sort of door. And then it's an open-aired one. Some sort of ocean spewing of negative energy junk of a floor. That being said, I'm going to go for it. You can't stop me. I'm going to cleave everything down. Generate maybe a guy to help me, I think. I think he just immediately dies from the spray. And I'm just like, gotta get through this. We got a chaos crab. We've got or apocalypse crab. But anyway, and look at that. An out generates perfectly. And we're out. So not too bad of a final vault, and we were well timed with our exit. And so now we're heading into Zot. If I recall, I think I have like 3 revs. Yeah, there's 3 revs. I'm going to rev now and start stair dancing. I like revving on Zot 1 because you just want more knowledge in the most kind of exposed you'll ever be probably in Zot, other than Zot 5. Plus, you never know, you might actually get rev scrolls on the floors, and that might add, then I can do Zot 4, or, whatever the situation is. But otherwise, it's time to stair dance as much as you can. Try to really knock out the Berserker moths as quickly as possible, so that they don't infect everybody with Berserker. This one was particularly rough because it was stuck behind everything, but we got it. So I'm not like infinitely resistant to all these things, and the stupid purple ones are just stupid. That one died quick, but basically the only... if you have reasonable resistances, the only draconians that can still kill you for whatever reason are the red ones, because they can like dump their junk all over you, like those that deep red one. I think it's damnation plus a bunch of other lava junk, and the teleport ones, because they can screw you out of your stairs, and it just gets real bad real quick. Anyway, but that was a pretty simple Zot 1. I was very happy. I'm not sure if I don't think I got a rev scroll, and if I did, I've decided not to use it. I think I've at least 2 left here, so that means Zot 5 and Zot 4. So that means I'm going to have to do like Zot 2 blind. And the other reason why I think I probably fully committed to doing the blind coverage is this is my ideal Zot floor style. Hallways, doors, sizable rooms between the hallways. The cave Zots are miserable. The wacky Zots are miserable, and so those are the ones you want to like at least save your rev scrolls for. This you can control very slowly. Now you still get these insane rooms. The lava guy, he locked me down there temporarily. Thankfully it disappeared very quickly, and I'm just like, I gotta take out some of these guys before they start shooting at me when I run away. And then I'm like, okay, get out of here. I have resist core from my neck, I believe, or not my neck, but my gizmo. So I'm like, yellows are okay for now, but look how close that was. it wasn't game ending, but like I could have blinked if I felt like truly threatened and all that. But it's pretty crazy how, like, 4 or 5 free shooting draconians can do. Anyway, the floor is kind of clearing itself pretty quick, and then we kind of open up this, I'm going to call it like a dragon lava corner. So it's like, the door's open, I got to clear it, so let's get these guys over. I think I was deciding, golden dragon scales. I have a trove, don't I? Well, what if these golden dragons... Oh, here's another one. Maybe I go open my trove. I don't believe I end up doing it, spoiler alert, but I probably could have. I don't know what my enchanting scrolls are. But anyway, the clearing is successful. For a second, I'm like, oh, what's that amulet? Why isn't it showing it to me? And then I remembered I'm a Coglin, and I can't use amulets. Okay, so we head down. I see a Berserker moth. I try to kill it. I try to get these guys in closer. So far, the tile set suggests like cavernous style Zot. Maybe the big circle or one of the big squares or something. It's hard to tell so far, but it is an open... You can tell it's going to be an open air Zot. I almost opened that door, but it's very... I realize, that's probably something scary. Whenever you have like a cavernous style Zot, and then all of a sudden there's like some sort of constructed looking thing, it suggests that it's like a pre-made vaulty thing that probably has bad times inside. So if you're going to clear it, you leave it to the end. And you caught there, a lot of draconians really got into me. And so this is the point where I'm starting to acknowledge, this is one of these big circular ones. And so I've got to be careful about my edges here. So now I'm like, okay, I'm going to clear left. I'm going to clear right, up, down, that kind of pattern to it. And then I'm like, I think I can connect up to where I last left off. Here's our first oof. I still have the Broadaxe of Flame on, so it's not ideal. But it looks like with my dude, I can really zerg out a orb. The issue, though, is I'm kind of ganked by this set of draconians. Thankfully, my brother that I spawned was one of the more powerful ones. I think like it's called like an Iron Troll or something. So it really helped kind of control the situation. All good. Yeah. So, just kind of clearing my way through. At this point, I was thinking, I should probably go to the other down. I've strayed pretty far from my upstairs, or in this case, downstairs. So I'm like, okay, let's pop into a different unexplored region, see what's up here. And it was actually pretty scary. We can see the VV or double V. I don't know how it's officially pronounced, or Viv. Maybe it's Viv because it's supposed to be like he's a revved up, always healing guy. I don't know. Anyway, he's pretty tough. I'm trying to get as many of not hims as possible. Anyway, I was like, oops, wrong down. I do want to kill the V, whatever his name is. So get him in. It's not ideal that the Draconian comes, so I go upstairs, back down. All right, he's walked away. Cool. Kill what I can see. Kind of. If he's not going to engage me, I'll kind of do some work here. But that's a very scary named mob. Unless you're like some sort of overwhelming force that can do like a bunch of damage really quick. He has such good health regen that it's like constant regen. But if you can just like 4-hit him or something, it's like, okay, cool. Anyway, so I start kind of auto-exploring, and it turns out I did pretty much everything, and that little castle thing that I thought was the worst thing in the world turned out to be nothing. So we're at Zot 4, we have Rev Scrolls. Actually, a lot of engages here, so I kind of... Maybe I stay a little long, but it's like, I'd really like to just clean up these Draconians as quickly as possible. Just do a bunch of stair dancing. but I see the teleporter. I'm just like, I shouldn't stick around here. I should go. And then I keep going back down, and then he teleports me, I think, pretty soon. And I think it creates a little confusing moment for a second. No, it's not this one. I'm getting confused. I'm pretty sure there's going to be one soon. There, this guy. He's going to troll me. Watch. Not there. There. And come on, I know what happens. Right. Okay, that's a good pickup. Right there. It wasn't too bad. I was overthinking it. I'm just so annoyed by those purple guys that every time it happens, it annoys me to no end. Anyway, this is a very quick poll, to be honest. All those draconians just were, I assume, what filled up this area, and it's just like, okay, you're empty. Here's our first toe. Toes aren't too bad when you have a super cleave. You can take care of their mushrooms pretty quick. They're fungus. I guess they're toe fungus. That's the joke, right? I think I've never made the connection, but I guess it's now. Anyway, that's funny. Yeah, they're not too bad when you can mass cleave, and you have good defenses. They're more of like a caster killer, because they'll lock you down, block you around, shut you down, all that kind of thing. Anyway, so I'm just gonna leash what I can. Actually, I get a little overwhelmed here, and I'm a little too far away, and this teleport guy and the lava guy, it's a lot. And I go around the corner, and there's still plenty more, and I'm like, oh no, I should probably reset this. And it's good that I made that choice, because I probably would call this the third most dangerous moment of my game. I almost died, and that was with me going down the stair. So I had to be super risky. Thankfully, nothing Zot 5e was there. But yeah, probably too risky play there. I survived it. I didn't use any resources to survive it. Whatever. Lesson learned, I guess. Anyway, this is Zot 5. We can see it's a pretty, let's call it Holly style pre-lung. A lot of junk kind of chaining itself here. I see the Berserker moth. I'll just kind of sit around the corner. And yeah, working our way. So yeah, I was just clearing it. Nothing special here. Enchanting what I see. I guess I could speak about Zot 5 now and in the future. As of this moment, or like this past day or two, I read a little written description of what Zot 5 will become in 0.34. I think I talk about this in my Revenant win, which has just happened, so apologies if I'm covering a topic again, but honestly, this kind of like voiceover turns into like a mini podcast roughly centered around the character. But anyway, the new Zot 5, apparently they're going to add like in these two front lungs, there's going to be like a tower in each one, like in the center, they're going to call it like a monolith of something or another. It'll be like a thing you can attack, and it's like a spire or something that constantly summons the things in the lungs. I'm not sure if it's in addition to what is already in the lungs, or the things that are in the lungs come from the tower. But regardless, both sides will continuously spawn creatures, and the rate at which they spawn creatures increases over time. And so you can't. Their intention is to stop the leeching strategy that you basically have to do a successful, consistent Zot 5. So everyone should start preparing their mentality for what Zot 5 is going to become. Because it's not just like, oh, now we have a different way of dealing with the lungs. The second you enter Zot 5, a counter starts. And so you can even do the pre-Zot, if you're trying to be... a pre-lung Zot 5, if you're trying to be efficient with your time. You have to like immediately try to get in there and kill one of the towers. And apparently once you kill one tower, the other tower also stops. And my assumption would be that therefore you've addressed all the creatures in the lungs, but that feels too easy, Although I shouldn't say that, because who's to say how hard it's going to be to even get into there.
Anyway, what we're going to see here is we have technically 2 open lungs, in that, yes, there's a Zot trap to the right, but this is dangerous point number 4. I'm just like, I can blink. I'm going to blink. Get out of here. I have plenty of blinks. I'm going to reset this. Okay. And apparently blinks are going to fuzz in Zot now. I get Abyss, immediately exit. But note, don't just immediately exit Abyss in this scenario. I have Fragile, I'm low health, or lower health. When you leave Abyss, you enter whatever you left off with immediately as you are. So use the opportunity to get some health, put some regen on, whatever you're doing. So when you pop back up, you're good.
Okay. So I forgot if I had said this, but there's going to be quite a number of orbs of fire this game in these Zot situations. It's actually quite a lot. Which reminds me about another thing I read in that 0.34 change book or change listing. Apparently, orbs of fire are only going to be one of 3 types of orbs that will generate on a Zot level, in that there's going to be, I think it was like orbs of fire, orbs of freezing, and orbs of whatever the new branding is. Like it's called like it's like a new type of mutation that is supposed to be like hell themed. I forgot what the wording they uses, but they're orbs of that. And you're going to find out which one your specific Zot's going to hold early game. I think like in your temple, you're going to see like statues of whatever flavor of orb. And so that'll give you a signal that, I have to prepare for orbs of fire or orbs of whatever or orbs of this kind of thing for your end game. So get ready to not always get orbs of fire, but instead you'll have like ice versions of this, for example. I'm not sure what the that branding name is off the top of my head. It's like, but the concept that I read was that they're going to reduce the impact of negative mutations. They don't like the idea. They don't like how the game has evolved with regards to mutation and like people getting screwed out of, getting teleportitis and stuff like that. They're going to still keep mutations, but like a lot of the things that currently mutate you out like crazy will instead give this other hell themed negation thing. And then doing stuff. It's like Drain, but like it's like they're shifting away the power of mutation, like bad mutations, and shifting it more onto whatever this new thing is called. Anyway, while I was talking there, we were able to like break into the end where the orb is. I do want to finish off the clearing here. For a second, I recall I'm like, did I get mutated? And I did get a lot more mutations, but for a second I thought I got teleportitis again. No, it's just a bunch of stuff that doesn't matter in the end of things. So cool, all cleared. I think I probably forget and then re-clear just in case, and then we're gonna begin our run back. Exciting times. I don't really plan too much here. At first I'm manually doing it, and then I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna, capital G D1, and then whenever it stops me, I'll deal with whatever happens. It's not like I pre-planned out my path run, so whatever. So I just spam capital G D1, capital D G1. I think there's another one that's like D0, and that brings you to the entrance, I think. But for whatever reason, I never try that. I always just do D1. So this is going to be a tough little few seconds here. I think... No, it's not this one.
what I would suggest is whenever you have an opportunity to go on an upstair, but like wait and you're low health or whatever, oh, here's where I take a hit. Boom. These guys are scary. The Tricolocals or whatever they're called. It starts with T and there's a bunch of letters after it. But yeah, when you're running back and there's an upstair and you're safe and you need to heal or something, just stay there, read an ambrosia or drink an ambrosia and wait it out, and just make sure you live on the current floor as long as possible, because the second you go up, you're dealing with a fresh new set of like pan lords or whatever. Anyway, this was a very quick run back, and boom, here's the win. So I gave myself a few minutes just to talk here, and so your classic item set. We got the dragon scales in the end. That was pretty cool. We were able to rev up to some really good broad axes by the mid to end game. Here I'm going to highlight, here's my gizmo. So that kind of summarized the gizmo of Coglin. I went for the safe, consistent choice over Dazzle and a few other enchants or resistances. This was just full coverage plus the clairvoyance or clarity or whatever it is. Great stuff. Good potions, good usage. We were able to do it in sub 2 hours. Now, had I live commented, I bet you it took up to 3 hours. So, like, cutting an hour is helpful. Not too bad. I think I noticed that some people were watching live, and so I said thanks for watching. So thank you again for watching. It's always, if you see me online, you might as well check me out, whatever. I might not reply because I'm recording, but I appreciate the watch. But yeah, thanks for watching. This was a Coglin Berserker of Trog, and I hope you enjoyed the experience. See you next time when we do something else. See you later.